Hey there, YouTube family. Welcome back to the Pride Pack. Today, I'm going to be showing you how we feed our dogs a raw food diet. Scary, right? How scandalous. Here we go. So this is our setup. Patricio always does the dog feeding now that they're on the raw diet because that was the arrangement that we came up with. If he decided to switch them to raw, was that it would be his main responsibility, and he's been very good about it. So this is our setup. It's in our garage. He would just like bring out this table, and as you will see, he has a list that sort of breaks down the different things that they get. So they get a main source of food, which would just be like a normal like chicken or pork or turkey or something, or fish. And then they need to receive a certain amount of liver, heart, just different organs. And so you'll see he has on his list their weekly allotment that they need to receive. And so usually, and you can do this however you want. You can split out that allotment per day, or you could just give them all of that in one meal. It's really just how you decide it. But this is sort of what we do. He takes it out of the freezer, kind of lets it thaw a little bit so that it's able to be cut. And then he just cuts off pieces and puts it on the scale and just weighs it based on that and keeps adding little chunks of the different meat sources that are needed until it reaches the amount of grams that is needed for their daily allotment for food.
This is heart, and I'm doing their weekly amount here. For Ellie, it's 126 grams per week. That's kind of close, so it's not much. Grams are small, so. 126 is close enough. So that will be your weekly amount of organ that is not liver. Organ and liver are two different things for different measurements. Our overall daily amount needs to be 363, I believe. 363-ish. The rest will be chicken, which doesn't want to break up fully, but. Liver amount, which is the same amount for as organs. Pork liver. Sabers. Well, let me see. Yeah. We'll make that one Sabers. Saber gets 316 or 318 a day. And that's 320, so close enough. He's not getting his full amount of liver, however, I'll feed him more when we get back from our trip. It's barely off, so. We'll get the remaining liver. Which is 99. Chicken bone, I'm pretty sure, is just the spine. Almost 363, so good enough. Red meat, and this is going to be the red meat portion. Let's see if I can get it out. I haven't done any veggies for them recently, just because we haven't had any that's not spinach.
Why don't you want to just give them the spinach?
They don't really like spinach very much anymore. They did when it was blended with other stuff, but spinach by itself they don't seem to like. Plus apparently it's not as good for dogs as I thought it was. It's not bad, but it should be mixed with other stuff. It's a little bit big for Saber, but it's okay.
So is that something we need to go get before we leave?
No, dogs don't need veggies in their meal. It's an optional thing. I mean, I like doing it. It's a good filler. And also, it's good for them, but it's not like, in the wild they don't eat veggies unless they're really hungry. Their bodies don't need it.
So I'm just showing you our freezer. This is where we keep all of the meat for the dogs, and right there you see the meals that we just prepped, and we marked off Saber's with blue tape and Ellie's with no tape. And then whenever we go out of town and we're gonna have someone else feed them, we always have them practice first. So here we will have Logan practicing feeding the dogs raw food. And then just make sure you put each bowl on one different side of the mat. Okay, you can do Saber's now.
Saber be over.
Yeah, Saber be over here. So they really love this food, especially Ellie girl right here. She did not used to get excited about eating the kibble food, But now she really loves this food. As you can see, they're still fine eating next to each other. We've always fed our dogs next to each other. Unfortunately, Ellie is a little bit more possessive of this food than she was the kibble. So she will like growl at him, but that's perfectly normal. There's never really a problem, but we do always just watch the dogs when we feed them now, just to make sure, because especially if one of them finishes first, we just like to go ahead and call that one inside so that the other dog can finish their food in peace. So as you see, Ellie is probably going to finish her food first tonight. So once she finishes her food, we'll just call her inside to let Saber finish his on his own without her coming to mess with him. Well, girlfriend, don't eat that fast.
Ellie, get inside. Ellie, get inside.
Ellie.
Ellie, go inside. Come on, go inside. Go inside. Come on. Come on, go inside.
Ellie, inside.
Inside. Come on.
Yeah, you ate it so fast. The other important thing to remember when you're feeding your dogs raw food is, one, when you first start, you just kind of want to watch them, because if they eat it too fast, or just because when they're adjusting to the new diet, they might like throw it up. So ours are past that stage. They've been eating raw for a few months at this point, but we still typically watch them just to make sure. It is perfectly fine, and you should be feeding your dog's bones when they're eating a raw food diet. It is pretty crucial to make sure that they're getting the nutrients that they need. But obviously it's raw food. You can't give them cooked chicken, or you can't give them cooked bones, but you can give them raw bones, and it's perfectly healthy and natural for them. They eat right through them. Some of the bigger bones they aren't able to eat through, but chicken bones typically, they make it through fine. The fish bones, they eat it fine. As you see, he takes his time, so you don't need to worry about, especially after a while. Like I said, when they first start, you want to really watch them, but after a while, they really do learn and understand how to chew it completely so that they're not just swallowing, because with kibble, dogs typically just sort of swallow it. They don't really chew their kibble. But with the raw food, they really learn. We feed it frozen. So they get it directly out of the freezer, our deep freezer, and they eat it straight from there. So they do have to chew it, and they do a good job of managing to do that. Another big thing is we feed them on this rug, on this green little rug that can just be rolled up and put away. That way it's not getting all the nasty raw food and guts elsewhere, or where we might be walking barefoot. So we make them stay on this rug. They've gotten used to it. And so we make them like not drag their food away, and they stay on this rug. And then that way we can just fold up the rug and put it away, and then not be worried about the raw food guts or anything being everywhere. That is also why we cut the food in the garage on that little setup like I was showing earlier. And the other important thing is to remember, since they are eating the raw food, I would highly suggest you not let your dog lick your face. I wouldn't let the dog lick your face for a couple of hours at least after they have eaten, so that you're not, again, getting all their raw food goodies all over you. So guys, we definitely do not pretend to be dog or raw food or hygiene for animal experts or anything like that. We just had heard great things about feeding raw. I'm going to link for you the main source that we used for switching our dogs to raw food. He's a YouTuber on YouTube as well. He's great. We love his channel and the information that he gives. And again, he won't pretend to be an expert either, even though he does this for a living. But it's really up to you. I will say personally, there's two main reasons why we decided to go ahead and make that switch for our dogs to raw food. One was Ellie, as I was mentioning before. She was not doing well managing to eat the raw or the kibble food. Kibble is what is referred to as the normal dog food, like the little bites. She was not eating it. Like literally, we would put the food down. She would kind of sniff at it, and she just wouldn't eat it. We would try putting water on it. We were at the point where we were like getting chicken stock and pouring chicken stock all over it to get her to eat it. She just did not want to eat her food. And like I said, ever since we switched to this food, she has been eating her food. So clearly it was a problem that she did not like the other food. And trust me, we weren't feeding her cheap food either. We were feeding her really good stuff from a really good dog food boutique place here in town. Because again, we had been trying so many things, right? We tried Purina, and then we were upping it to all these like nice gourmet dog foods, and no matter what, she would not eat it. Now she eats her food. She loves her food, as you saw. The other problem was Saber. So if you guys have watched some of our previous videos, or if you just know about Saber, he had horrible dog allergies. Like, to the point, if you go back, I'll try to link one of the videos in the corner of when we used to have to wrap him up in like sweaters and keep doggy boots on his feet because he was having such bad dog allergies that he was scratching through his poor skin and leaving these big, ugly, nasty scars and bloody spots open on himself. He was scratching his skin off, and he just wouldn't stop. And we went to our vet multiple times. They had us try changing the type of food he was getting. They had us putting him on medication, just tons of different things, and none of it was working. It was like helping a little bit, like he wasn't scratching as much, kind of, but he would still scratch even when we were putting the dog boots on him. So that was just a nightmare, and the poor guy was scratching his skin off. But ever since we have switched them to this raw food diet, he does not get dog allergies anymore. He does not scratch his skin off. And again, they've been on it for maybe, I want to say 3 months at this point. So maybe even a little longer. I don't know. This year's gone by so fast. I don't even know what to do with myself. But so far, he has not had any dog allergies since he has eaten this. So we are really happy about that. Again, I'm not an expert, but if it works, right? So take it with a grain of salt, and do your own research, obviously. Don't just take my word for it. But if you do have some concerns about your dog and their health, obviously you can see our dogs have great energy. Ellie was not very energetic before. She was when we first got her. She was a ball of energy, but recently she had not been. Ever since we switched her back onto this raw food diet, she's back to being a ball of energy. So just do your research and see if maybe that is something that would work for you and your family and for your dogs. And also the pricing of it, one of my biggest concern was pricing, and it has actually ended up being the same cost for us feeding raw as it was for us getting the dog food. But again, I was not getting the like Walmart dog food or anything like that. We were getting our dog food from a dog boutique, which was typically like $40 for a bag, sometimes $50. So we were getting more expensive dog food, but still, it's still coming out to almost the same price. So do your research and see if you like it. And I hope that for those of you struggling with your dog's health, that maybe this might help. So if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any question, and I'll try to answer. Again, I'm going to link the main source that we use when we have questions about raw food in the description, because he will be much more knowledgeable and able to answer your questions. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Hoping that you have a great holiday season. And if you would like to receive notifications for whenever I post a video, please do not forget to hit that bell icon.